Good morning, all. Being the appointed day and time for this meeting, I'll call the meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission to order. Anyone with electronic devices, please silence them. And if staff is ready, can we have the roll call of officers, please?
Commissioner Uranga. Commissioner Lear.
Here.
Commissioner Garcia.
Here.
Commissioner Fisher.
Here.
Commissioner Acosta.
Present.
Vice Chair Zerniak. Chair Zarges.
Here. Approval of changes to the agenda. Can we get a motion, please?
So moved. I'll second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Zerniak, second by Commissioner Lear to approve the agenda as presented. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? No. Approval of the minutes, regular meeting of January 22nd, 2026.
I move for approval of minutes of January 22nd, 2026.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Fisher, second by Commissioner Zerniak. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Minutes are approved. Old business?
Chair, no old business.
No old business. Thank you, Albert. Okay, moving on. New business, case number Z 25-018.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
Albert Casillas, 845 North Motel Boulevard.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Our first case today is going to be a zone change request. Property owners are Mr. and Mrs. Gomez, and the applicant's Mr. Ronnie Parrott. This property is located on the northeast corner of Webb Road and Del Rey. We have a proposed address of 1625 Webb Road. Current zoning is D2L limited, which basically allows for, site-built homes. You can have a duplex, you can have a casita. But the request today is to take 2.20 acres out of that 4-acre parcel, which is zoned D2L, and to change the zoning to a C1 neighborhood commercial zoning district. And this is to allow a Dollar General retail store. Here is the location map. This is going to be Del Rey. And basically here at this little bend right here, Del Rey continues on, and it makes another, here on this curve next to I-25. From this point on, that turns into La Reina. So we have Del Rey and Webb Road right here, and this is the subject parcel. And then just before I go to the next slide, not too long ago, this commission also heard a subdivision here for about 10 1-acre lots out here. You're a little bit less than 1 acre, but 10 lots. Here's a close-up of the property. Basically, the area that's outlined in red, that's the proposed area for the zone change. Of course, you can see here Del Rey and Webb Road. So they're going to be requesting the zone change to allow. It's a little bit more than 9,000 square feet for this the Dollar General. Access will be from Webb Road, and a summary subdivision is proposed to basically cut out those 2.20 acres out of the 4 acres. Here's a site plan that was submitted along with the application. We basically see Webb Road. This is going to be the entrance, and you kind of see the boundaries of those 2.20 acres. So you'll have the proposed entrance coming off of Webb. Here's the store, parking area. You have the ponding area. And then back here, it's going to be the area that's going to be designated for the septic tank. And if I zoom in on that site plan, here's a clearer picture of what the applicant's proposing. You have the property lines right here. These are existing overhead power lines. Entrance, Del Rey, which turns into La Reina after It makes that, after Del Rey, makes that curve right here. And here's a zoning map. So when you're looking at the zoning map, pretty much everything east of Del Rey and Lorena, you can see it's still that D2L zoning designation. You have D1L on the west side of Del Rey and Lorena, D1, and then kind of along, that corridor along I-25, you have, that industrial and commercial zoning designations. So prior to the UDC being adopted, this property was zoned ER5, which is still residential. It was a third of an acre minimum lot size. And then after the UDC, got adopted, it went from ER5 to D2L. And right now the property's being assessed as vacant. Water out there is provided by Moongate Water. For this proposal, septic tank has to be approved by NMD. There is no sewer out there. Access will be from Webb Road, which is county maintained. Lorena Road is also county maintained, designated as a minor collector. Del Rey is designated as a principal arterial. And just a little bit of background on this parcel. Going back to almost 20 years ago, there was a zone change request from ER5 to ER6 that the property owner back then submitted for 9 acres, but that was tabled indefinitely by the ETZ Commission, so that didn't move forward. And then in 2022, some of you might recall that there was also a special use permit for a church on that parcel, which had to go all the way to the Board of County Commissioners for approval, but also, that did get approved, but it never, finalized. It didn't ever move forward with the church. And now we're here today with the zone change for the Dollar General. And then on February 24th, the BOCC will consider a final plat approval for that 10-lot subdivision that's right across the Webb Road from the subject parcel. Just a little bit of history on the area. And then, going back to 2022, this was the site plan that was submitted for the proposed church for that SUP. And then this is that proposed subdivision right across from Webb Road. So here's an aerial land use of the surrounding areas. Next couple slides, I'm just going to show a picture. So when you're driving north on Del Rey, this is, this is Webb Road right here. This is basically what it looks like when you're approaching that intersection. And then you make that turn onto Webb Road. This car over here, that's where Del Rey keeps on going. It makes that turn to the left and it keeps on going towards I-25. And then from that intersection forward, it turns into Lorena. And this is the entrance for that, 10-lot subdivision. So basically, I'm looking back towards Del Rey. And here's the subject parcel here on the right. And that's the entrance to that proposed subdivision. And looking back towards the entrance. So basically, if you look at the site plan that they submitted, that property line runs, almost parallel to this, the power lines that are there. That's that intersection of Del Rey and Lorena. And here I'm looking back towards the subject parcel. And here's another picture of the subject parcel. So when looking at zone changes on the UDC, we got to look at section 203.d, which kind of has a decisional criteria for zone changes. These were the properties that were notified. 23 letters of notification were mailed out. There were emails that were submitted against the request. All those emails are included within your packet. And then these are just the items that we have to look for under section D.1. So,
One more. Yeah,
yeah. Well, I'll just go through 1 through 3 real quick. So
all right.
I think I skipped a slide. So yeah, when we're looking at D1, potential number of homes, well, they're not proposing any residential development. Population, it's not applicable because it's for a commercial use, so there's no impacts to demographics. On your analysis, the applicant did submit an STA for the proposal, and basically, the bullet points here is just a summary of their of the conclusions of that report. So when going through the conclusions, basically what the engineer ended up determining was that it did not warrant a right turn lane at the proposed side entrance, and it also didn't, based on the projected traffic volumes, it did not warrant the left turn lane at the proposed side entrance. So no right turn lane or left turn lane. Basically, the recommendation based on that STA was that the driveway be shifted as far east on the property as possible.
Mr. Chair. Albert, what's the level of road, Del Rey? What is that designated as?
Del Rey itself is the principal arterial. That's designated by the MPO.
And the existing area around that area, what is it? All mobile homes or?
I can go back to the aerial over here. So around the area, you have some large lots, single-family homes primarily. This subdivision here to the east, it's one of those subdivisions that were approved back in the 60s. A lot of these lots were quarter-acre lots, so they're basically all grandfathered in. Besides this subdivision, as you move further east, let me go to the zoning map. So you have a couple of quarter-acre lots out here, and then they start getting a little bit, larger, I guess, as you move east. But for the most part, since all these subdivisions were done like in the early 60s, late 70s, a lot of them are grandfathered in, but no less than a quarter-acre lot.
And Albert, it just appears to me that this zone change is not in harmony with the existing area, right? I mean, this is almost like a spot zone for me.
It could be, and and I'll touch base on the other decisional criteria that we have to look at, and that's just coming down further.
Basing
down
it on the Miller
presentation.
criteria. Because if we do that there and allow that, the existing area, look at the other vacant lots that are there.
So, continuing here with the staff analysis, the zone change will allow the applicant to operate a Dollar General store. There is, Moongate Water is out there. You can have a septic tank, that's what's being proposed. So there is sufficient infrastructure capacity for the proposed use. We haven't seen any evidence of endangered or rare species or animal and plant life in the area. Impacts, of course, like Commissioner Acosta, like you were saying, it is surrounded by residential development out there. Zoning designations within the area of notification include that D1L, D2, D2L. We have that EBL and subdivision, approved in the 60s for, quarter-acre lots. You have the city of Las Cruces, which is approximately about half a mile south of the subject parcel. And if this was to be approved, of course, they would be subject to buffer, landscaping, and everything that's required under the code for fire, life, and safety. So at least when it comes to this section of the decisional criteria for zone changes, we believe that the request does meet this section. Of course, we have to look at the other criteria, for example, Plan 2040, the comprehensive plan. So when it comes to the 2040 comp plan, staff believes that it does not meet those requirements of this section. There's Goal G 2.2, which talks about safeguarding and extending desirable neighborhood character. We don't believe that this request meets this section, or action 2.2, which talks about preserving the existing neighborhood's character. So we believe that the request goes against this goal and action of the comp plan. We also have to look at change of conditions. We believe that there's no evidence of a change of conditions making the zone change reasonably necessary to protect the public interest. On the applicant's narrative, he's stating that, recently there was a zone change approved within 1,600 feet of the intersection of the site. And I'll go back to the zoning map. So the applicants, and you might recall this one here too, but we had this request that came in. This one was a little bit different because if you recall, part of this property was already zoned industrial. It's part of that, industrial/commercial corridor. So I think the setting was a little bit different than what's being proposed today. But the applicant is correct that this was approved a couple months ago. But we just have to look at each case, everything on a case-by-case basis.
And Mr. Chair, and Albert, on this zone change, would it trigger a traffic impact analysis?
They did. They submitted an STA.
All right. It just appears to me that with that many mobile homes there, I think it would impact the safety and general welfare of the public coming in and going out, ingress and egress. And there was no comment from engineering either, so.
Okay. So,
Albert,
yes.
you mentioned the site requirements aren't being met from the west side and that you were suggesting another entrance. Can you show us that on one of your maps or one of your photos? What you're recommending there?
Maybe I misspoke, but I wasn't recommending a separate.
When you were looking at the traffic?
No, I was only mentioning that based on the STA, the applicant's engineer was stating that there was no need for any turning lanes.
No, but you did say that is correct, but then your comment was site was not met. Site distance requirements for a vehicle entering or crossing a highway are not met on the west of the site based on the limits of the property. These requirements cannot be met but can be minimized by shifting the entrance as far east as the property is possible.
Yeah, that was just a summary. That was a recommendation from their engineer.
You what?
That was a recommendation from the applicant's engineer. So what their engineer was recommending was to shift this driveway right here all the way as far east as possible on the property. That was their engineer's recommendation. So when it comes to a change of conditions, staff, we are acknowledging the applicant's statement. However, the reference zone changes occurred along a section of Doré Boulevard that parallels I-25, where existing zoning is industrial and commercial. The subject parcel is located to the east of this industrial corridor, surrounded by single-family residential zoning. And basically, the zoning map here again, basically saying, this is where that other zone change occurred, but when you look at the subject parcel, it's just basically in the middle of a residential area. And the zone change is not intended to cover and perfect a previous defective ordinance or to correct a mistake or injustice. We also believe that the zone change is considered a spot zoning. It's not in harmony with the surrounding residential areas. It's not going to be a benefit to the community by allowing another Dollar General store for the benefit of the property owner in an established residential area. So with that being said, under our staff findings, we don't believe that the request for C1 satisfies the decisional criteria for a zone change. It's not appropriate and reasonably necessary to protect the public interest. There's not a sufficient change of conditions, and it's not intended to cover a previous effective ordinance or to correct a mistake. We believe that it is a spot zoning and that it's in conflict with the comprehensive plan. So based on our findings of fact, staff analysis, and agency comments, we are recommending denial of this zone change request. The P&Z, of course, can approve, conditionally approve, or deny the zone change as well. So that's the end of my presentation, and the staff stands for questions. The applicant's here, and we have members of the public that also are
Any
present.
questions of staff? Okay, let's hear from the applicant, if we could.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
Jared Greth.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Thank you.
Hello.
Could you just give us your address, please?
Oh,
Your address?
8100 Barstow, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Thank you.
87122. Thank you. My name is Jared Greth. I'm here on behalf of Overland and Rodney Parrott, the applicant. Really, all I have to add is a little bit to the issue of spot zoning. So under New Mexico law, New Mexico courts have never held that spot zoning is per se illegal. They do indicate that, you know, it's a fact-specific, case-by-case inquiry each time spot zoning comes up. You know, there are a few factors that go into, you know, the determination of whether rezoning requests should be considered spot zoning. The first being the size of the land in question. Number two being the character of the surrounding area, which is, you know, is basically in disharmony with the surrounding area, and whether, you know, what the primary benefit goes to the owner of that lot, or whether there's a general public benefit that can be derived from that. So I will point out that, you know, New Mexico courts have indicated, particularly in Bennett v. City Council of the City of Las Cruces, which is a 1999 case from the New Mexico Court of Appeals, that, you know, the closer to an interstate or a highway corridor that proposed rezoning is located, that is a definite factor in finding against it being spot zoning. And I do feel that in this case, you know, it is close to the interstate corridor, which does have, you know, some commercial zoning that's already in effect there. And, you know, the minimal amount of land that is being, we're requesting be rezoned, you know, just a little over 2 acres, we also think would really, you know, minimize any impact that it would, negative impact that it might have to the surrounding area. And it is Overland's position that this would not be an instance of spot zoning if it were to occur. But of course, you know, we do respect that it would ultimately be this commission's decision. So I'm happy to answer any questions on that end of things if anyone has them.
I'd like to know, you have a Dollar General at 2.5 miles away, and you have a Dollar General at 1.7 miles away. What is your target? Are you trying to do Dollar Generals every 2 miles?
So Dollar General, their current growth model is to, you know, be, you know, not only serve rural communities, that's part of their growth model, but also to be, you know, a neighborhood location. So to, you know, more locations closer together in neighborhoods, because I mean their footprint is really small, and you know the overall locations are pretty small. So they are of the opinion that, you know, if they're located in, you know, in the neighborhood, that is a benefit to the people who are immediately around it. Thank you.
Turn on my mic. Okay. Are there people here who wish to comment on this, either pro or con? How many of you are there? Just, okay. 5, 6, 7.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
Isaiah Garcia, 5221 Lorena.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Members of the Planning and Zoning Commission, I'm here today to express my opposition to the proposed rezoning of approximately 2.2 acres of residential neighborhood to commercial for the purpose of constructing a Dollar General store. My property is less than 300 feet away from the rezoning area. I do not support this change. This area is currently residential, quiet, dark by design. Rezoning this land would permanently alter the character of our neighborhood and introduce long-term impacts that cannot be reversed once commercial zoning is approved. Impact on property values are also not in the public interest. Studies show that homes located near commercial developments often experience reduced property values, and many residents, including myself, choose to live in this area specifically because it is residential, scenic, and low impact. Lighting impacts would also be significant. A Dollar General would introduce bright building lighting, parking lot lights, and a large illuminated pylon sign. This would destroy the existing dark sky environment and permanently obstruct natural mountain views. The lighted sign would be visible from surrounding homes and roadways, fundamentally changing the visual character of our neighborhood. Noise and traffic impacts are also unavoidable. Customer traffic throughout the day and evening, delivery trucks, and backup alarms would introduce constant noise into what is currently a quiet residential area. Increased commercial traffic also raises safety concerns on roads that were not designed to accommodate retail-level traffic volume. Quality of life and safety concerns must also be considered. Retail stores operating extended hours bring increased foot traffic, loitering, and activity that does not align with the residential neighborhood. Many communities have documented an increase in nuisances, activity, and petty crime associated with similar developments. Additionally, there's no demonstrated need for another Dollar General store. Within 3.4 miles, there is 3 dollar stores. Dollar General on Thorpe Road, 1.7 miles away from proposed site. Family Dollar on Thorpe Road, 1.8 miles away from proposed site. And Dollar General on Park Hill Del Rey, 1.6 miles from proposed site. Within the 3.5 miles, there's also 3 locally owned businesses who also provide food options to our community. And adding another Dollar General would also threaten those businesses. Once this is rezoned commercial, it's lost forever. So I ask that you preserve the existing residential zoning and deny the rezoning request associated with Z25-018. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Questions? Go ahead, Commissioner Costa.
Mr. Chair, since we have so many people in the gallery, and I would like to please ask them on time limit and no disparaging remarks.
Yeah, well, with only 4 or 5 people, I'm going to see how long people go right now.
Thank you.
I don't think we need time limits for only that many people. But if they all tend to run 5 and 6 minutes, then I guess we can establish one. Okay. Other people who want to speak on this case? Come up, be sworn in.
Before he comes up here, I'm going to send out a letter that I got last minute too. So I'm just going to send it out.
Thank you, Albert.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
Robert Coleman, 5013 Calle Princesa.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Gentlemen, ladies. I have really no problem with this Dollar General there. I think there are
Move forward to the mic a little more so we can hear
Okay,
you.
sorry about that.
That way you can be heard on the screens.
I don't speak out very often, thank you. The Dollar General is really not a problem. The idea of adding commercial businesses in this area does bother me. The problem I see with the Dollar General sitting there is that the egress into the store and then back onto the roads. I'm looking at the area at Engler and Del Rey where they have stoplights, turn signals or turn lanes, and also egress into the stores there and into the commercial or into the bedroom area. If this unit goes in on Webb, there are going to be more people coming through the subdivision to the east of there to get to the store. There'll be people trying to get in and out of the store area, back onto Del Rey, Lorena. And right now, it's dangerous out there as is. We have lots of semi-truck traffic, loads and loads of people with pickups and trailers on them. And on that 2-lane road, rather narrow, it's going to need some access made back onto Lorena, Del Rey. And this is going to be an extreme expense for the county. I don't know if you're looking at that, but once you add commercial business in that area, you're going to have to give turn lanes, acceleration lanes, and I would suspect, seeing as there's the Webb, Del Rey going east and west are not lined up, you're going to end up with a really mess there because you can't really put a stop sign there. You'd have to have 2 of them. Anyway, my comments are just infrastructure. Right now, the county has not got it. They don't seem to have it in mind, but you add in commercial businesses and there will be more if you do this one, and that's fine, in my opinion. I don't like it particularly because that's why we moved out there is we don't want a lot of people around. The other problem with this that I see is the evening. They're open till probably 10 or 11 or midnight, who knows, I don't know. But you're going to have cars moving in and out of there. You're going to need fencing that stops the light pollution onto the living areas in that area. And also light pollution from the signs at the area. I'm just saying we have a big infrastructure and egress problem in this if we do this. And it's going to cost the county a lot of money. So I wish you would look at it from that point of view, because once we do this, it's going to increase, and you folks are going to have to find the money to do it. And we're going to pay, of course. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Mr. Chair, just as a comment.
Sir,
No, it's okay.
can you come
No,
back?
Not for him.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I thought he had a question for you.
Mr. Chair, there's a swale on Del Rey Boulevard at Camino Lorena, okay? And I don't know, Sean, that's a very big swale. And I'm not too sure what the speed limit is on Del Rey Boulevard, both north and south. And I believe that swale goes into an arroyo, am I correct?
Yes, it's 35 there.
Yeah.
Major problem we also have,
Come up to the mic.
the major problem that we have here is twofold. Number one, our drivers are not the brightest people in the world. As I go down there, and I do about 36 or 37 because I don't like people getting where I can't even see the hood on their car. And you start adding in the turn lane missing and people trying to get in and out, and these idiots that drive, I would say like 7th graders. And I've been here half my life in New Mexico, and it hasn't improved. It's gotten funnier, but it hasn't improved. But we do have a problem on that road, speeding, close driving. I'm going to leave it at that. You folks understand all of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions? Do we have other people who wish to speak on this? Come up, come up.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Scott Kenny at 5080 Mescalero Trail.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
I do, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning. I just wanted to elaborate on a little bit you guys were just talking about. It's exactly why I wanted to come.
Move the mic up a little bit.
We actually have two major swells, approximately about 30 feet in height of, once you actually dip into these swells, you cannot see, approximately 200 yards in front of you, or 200 feet, I'm sorry. The amount of traffic that this business would bring in and the accidents we would most likely see because of these two large swells coming northbound on Del Rey would be significant, I would imagine. There's no way that if you see the traffic at the Dollar General southbound on Del Rey that's already there, they've had to put it a turning lane. There's no way that this commercial, if it got rezoned to a commercial property, there would not need another turning lane. I don't believe this would be good for our community whatsoever. The amount of homeless that is involved in the surrounding commercial properties is out of control. This is just going to escalate that throughout our surrounding area. And I really hope that you decide not to approve this. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions? Thank you. Ma'am, you were. The lady's coming first. She had too long of a walk.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Mallory Pelto. My address is 5090 Pueblo Trail.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I just kind of wanted to chime in with my neighbors and say, I agree with everything they're saying. This is a safety hazard. I think that the big thing for me, I see a lot of kids. There's a lot of elderly people in our neighborhood. I don't know. I know this isn't what this hearing is, but if you guys were going to rezone it, I'd rather see this rezoned as a park, some kind of field or something like that for our kids. Because, our kids out there, we don't have anything. We don't have walking paths for them. We don't really have any place where they can go and congregate. It's already a dangerous neighborhood. People already, like my neighbor back here said, people already drive horribly. It's already super dangerous, and that's my major concern with this as well. Just the safety of, my neighbors. And, we did move out there because we didn't want to deal with traffic from the city. We didn't want to deal with, we didn't want to live in town. That's why we live out there. So I just wanted to chime in with them and saying that I oppose this as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir?
Good morning. Please raise your right hand, state your name and address for the record.
Corey Durr, 5135 Creek Trail.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning. Yeah, I'd just like to reaffirm again what the neighbors are saying. One of my main points that I don't know that it's really, the last lady just kind of brought it up, but there are a lot of people riding bikes, walking dogs. This is going to increase traffic. There are absolutely no sidewalks. And with the intersection of Del Rey, Lorena, and Webb, there is going to be increased traffic. People are going to be trying to divert that intersection and go up to the east through those trails so that have a lot of people recreating on those roads.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else who wishes to speak on this case? Ma'am?
Good morning. Please state your name and address for the record.
Leila Gomez, 7045 Purple Mountain Avenue, Las Cruces, New Mexico.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm one of the owners of the property, and I just wanted to say quickly that back in 2024, when I stood before you and we, proposed a change so that we could build our church, all of these same things that were said are being said here today about the light pollution, about safety, about traffic. I don't see where, I didn't see at that time where a church would make a difference in the traffic, seeing as how we gather on Sundays. And I just cannot recall one Dollar General ever being so jam-packed that you couldn't come into the parking lot or exit the parking lot safely. As far as if there are driving, crazy drivers out there, that's not the job of any place that presumes residents of this property to control that. That is a county issue. And I think that that is something that needs to be shelved until that particular meeting takes place with you. So it sounds like there's changes that need to be made, but it's not on the business's part to be able to make those changes in that surrounding area. When you drive up into those neighborhoods, it is not, and this is not derogatory, I just don't know how else to say it. These neighborhoods are not like Picacho Hills where I live. They are just normal neighborhoods. And these stores are intended just to be a stop and a go. To say that there's, that you can't enter off of Webb Road. I had the same things done. I turned in an STA, a TIA. All of it was determined then, even as far as a church. When you have a church gathering and you have about 200, 150, 200 people pulling into a parking lot, you're not seeing that same issue with a Dollar General. And you're not seeing that same issue on the exiting. And so I would just, maybe propose that that you do think about that somewhere this land is going to be occupied. Somewhere it's going to be occupied. So by who? And will it ever satisfy anybody? No business does. But right across the street from there is a business. Literally, just down the street is all industrial. We heard one gentleman say how that there are semis that go through that area. So to have a delivery truck come into Family Dollar does not pose any more danger than the traffic that is already going through there. And that's basically what I wanted to say.
Thank you. Questions? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to speak on this topic? Okay. The applicant like to rebut any of the comments that were made?
No, I have nothing further to add.
Okay. I'll look for a motion on this case then.
Mr. Chair, I'll go ahead and make a motion.
Okay.
Based on findings of fact, staff analysis, and agency comments, I move that we approve case Z25-018, the zone change for from a D2L to a C1.
We have a second.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Lear, second by Commissioner Zerniak to approve the request on Z25-018. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Lear?
No.
Commissioner Garcia?
No.
Commissioner Fisher?
No.
Commissioner Acosta?
No.
Vice Chair Zerniak?
Nope.
And Chair Zarges?
No. The request has failed. Thank you all.
And Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Acosta.
Albert, for the record, do we have to give the reason why as unanimous?
I think it would be
We have to
great
state
if we did.
Yes.
I'll go, Mr. Chair, I'll go first since I voted first. I'm in agreement with the staff's finding that this is spot zoning and does not add to the harmony of that residential area.
Go ahead.
I agree with Commissioner Lear. I also note that it's against the comprehensive plan, doesn't fit with the surrounding land uses, and the double turn from Del Rey onto Lorena and Webb is problematic for me.
Need explanations for the no votes?
Mine, I agree in the traffic conditions are of a concern to me.
For me was the, also, it's not part of the comprehensive plan and the spot zoning.
Okay, and I voted no because it's a residential area, and as was pointed out, there are several Dollar Generals within about a 2-mile radius of the place. Mel, do you have a
Oh, excuse
explanation
me.
on your no?
Well, my basis on a no would be, first of all, it doesn't meet the Miller criteria, number one. And the proposed change is not in harmony with the surrounding residential areas. And I believe that that's a very serious consequence in the event that there was any fatalities in that area. And it's a perfect zone change to be considered as a spot zone. It meets that criteria.
Okay, thank you all. Next, case number SU 25-051.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
Charlene Santisteban, 845 North Motel Boulevard, Las Cruces, New Mexico.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So before you, we have SU 25054. And the applicant is Richard Tovar. The location is 715 Montana Vista. It's a T3 neighborhood edge, and he's requesting a special use permit for a mobile home park, a 6-space mobile home park. This is location map, and this is the land use aerial. And I want to point out that there's high-pressure gas lines that go across the property, and it's right at the edge of this property right there. So there's a 120-foot right-of-way from Kinder Morgan, El Paso Natural Gas. So they cannot build on any of that area. They cannot put deep-rooted trees. There's all kinds of restrictions on there. Yes?
I'm sorry, are we out of order on the agenda?
Yes. No, this case came first, and then the second one, the 51 and 54.
Yeah. 51 is listed next.
Oh, well, I guess Albert and I didn't coordinate right. It was supposed to be 54. Huh? 54, yes, yes.
Okay.
Did I confuse you? Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. Well, we had agreed that we would do this one second and that one third, and I guess it got mixed up. Okay, so this there's 3 high-pressure gas lines that they traverse across the United States, all the way to California. It's huge. So Kinder Morgan has those kinds of pipelines that go across the United States, and in this area, there's 3 of them. So, and there's a 120-foot right-of-way on there.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's in a T3 neighborhood. The surrounding area is a single-family residential. The property has 2 installed mobile homes that have MHIPs and a 3rd uninstalled mobile home on the property. There are, of course, I discussed that. Prior mobile home parks and SUPs and the land uses. This area has been really active in industrial uses for zone changes and also mobile home parks. So I've gone back and looked at it. In 1986, there's a mobile home park for 21 spaces on the corner of Montana Vista and Anthony Drive. 1992, a mobile home park was allowed with 6 spaces at 745 Montana Vista. 2008, there was approved for 3 mobile home spaces at 659 Montana Vista. 2010, a mobile home park was approved for 4 spaces. And 2013, a mobile home park for 31 spaces. And then, of course, there's been, and across the street, there's 2 5-acre properties that are occupied by M&M Towing Services. So there's a lot of vehicle storage and scrapyard.
Mr. Chair. So Charlene, do any of these properties have that high-pressure gas line?
Yes, they do, and it's interesting. You can, I can't make that bigger, but right across here, you see that line? There's mobile home parks like this property right here. You see there's a great big space, so they cannot put anything on there. And so they have it on either corner. They are around that area. But this area right here, this is the large mobile home parks. And there's that pressure line that goes through there, and it just traverses on there, and so they have to coordinate with 811 and El Paso Natural Gas. It's an area that's developing with mobile home parks, and it's also dangerous, so, in my opinion. The subject area property is 2 acres in zone T3. The surrounding area is single-family residential except for that scrapyard that's across the street. And, okay. And these are the mobile home. I've gone over this stuff. This is the parcel, a close-up of the parcel. And that gas line goes in that area right here, this corner. And this is the plat of survey that was filed in the county clerk's office. And you see the gas line, it's right here, the 120-foot right-of-way. And here it is. I got this from El Paso Natural Gas from Kinder Morgan. They sent this image to me with the gas lines on there. And this is the zoning map. It's residential. On December 2nd, 2025, the applicant, Richard Tovar, submitted an SUP for a mobile home park with 6 spaces. The applicant plans to install 1 mobile home every year and will provide a natural area for small walking trail and benches on about a half an acre, and that area that's cannot be developed. And he cannot put trees on there. He's going to have to just put grass or bushes. He can't put deep-rooted bushes in there. And this is the overall site plan. And I've also requested that if he's going to go ahead with this, he will have to have an as-built survey that from a professional engineer that will show how the mobile homes will be placed to avoid that gas line, and that we're ensured that there's safety there. Public notice, 16 letters of notification were mailed to the area properties on January 20th. Notice was posted in Las Cruces Sun News on January 18th, and signs were posted on the property in a timely manner. And this is the second round because the first one we tried to do it administratively, we got opposition, so we had to go again. These are the signs. And this is the area of notification. And this is the subject property. There's that 1 mobile home. And then this is the second one. And that's the one that's not installed. It's just on the property.
So are these legal?
2 of them are legal. That one's illegal. So, well, he can have it on there. There's 3 address points, so he can put that on there. But he does not have a mobile home installation permit for it. So he will be triple feed for that. And these are the adjacent properties. And this is Vista, Montana. It's a very narrow road. Okay. Staff analysis, the traffic impacts will increase with 6 dwelling units on the property. An additional 4 to 6 vehicle trips per day per household will result in 96 to 216 trips per day. Access to the property is on Montana Vista, and it's a paved, county-maintained 50-foot right-of-way. Comprehensive plan, it's a G 2.2, ensure regulation support plan requirements, and provide, a G 4.1, provide marketable and affordable housing. The property, potential water, the property is serviced by Lower Rio Grande Public Works Authority for water and wastewater, and Montana is a paved county maintained road. Okay. I have already discussed number 5. There are 3 pressure gas lines, and the impact on the neighborhood will be substantially more traffic. Decisional criteria, the applicant will need to schedule a pre-app meeting with building services to develop the site for a mobile home park. The applicant will need to provide an as-built survey for development of the site. Staff findings, the property is outside of any unincorporated municipal zoning authority and is within Doña County. Therefore, the Planning and Zoning Commission has jurisdiction to hear this case. Pursuant to 350-104, Plan administrative duty and duties, the Planning and Zoning Commission may receive, hear, and make final determinations to approve with conditions, or deny applications of the special use permit. Public notice requirements have been met. The decisional criteria for SUP is consistent with the health, safety, and general welfare. And 2 comprehensive zone goals have been met. And it's on the land use classification matrix, a mobile home park is allowed in a T3 zone with an SUP. The subject property is 2 acres, the surrounding area is residential. Pursuant to 350-502, Planning and Zoning Commission of the board may apply conditions to the special use permit. Staff recommendations based on the findings of fact and agency comments. Staff recommends conditional approval of case SU 25054. And with the conditions, a triple fee for the mobile home will be assessed for the 3rd mobile home. Applicant will coordinate a pre-app meeting with building services. Applicant will coordinate with El Paso Natural Gas to not encroach onto the 120-foot right-of-way easement. Applicant will provide an as-built survey prior to development of the mobile home park. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Sean. Any questions of staff?
I have a question
Commissioner
of
Costa.
Sean. Or Sean.
Sean, go ahead.
I have a question for Shirley.
You have a question for Sean also?
Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Charlene first.
On that site plan,
Mm-hmm.
they have a home on the far upper corner, and it looks like it does encroach, and I recognize they have to get with the.
Right. Right.
If we approve 6 sites,
Uh-huh.
what kind of shifting can be done? Are there restrictions on the space between these mobile homes? I mean.
Yes, there's a restriction on the mobile homes. They have to be 50 by 70, the lots for the mobile home. But they're also, that's why they have to have the as-built surveys to make sure that they do not encroach on that high-pressure gas line, and they have to call out 811 to mark the lines where they're at, because they can't get anywhere near that. And they cannot have like deep-rooted trees or deep-rooted bushes, anything like that on that gas line. Maybe they can have grass, and that's about it.
So if it turns out to encroach on that right of way, they will only be able to put in 5?
Yes, that's all they will have to be able to put, if whatever the as-built survey says. When I contacted Kinder Morgan, they were really fast to respond that that was a really dangerous area with those gas lines there.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I have a question. Charlene?
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, this 120-foot right-of-way in there, is that a requirement by the county, or is that by the gas company?
By the gas company, and it's filed in the clerk's office on their deeds, on their plats of survey, on their deeds, it's marked on
Okay.
there also.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, Charlene. So, under agency comments, Kimber Morgan, El Paso Natural Gas, this statement in here is there are 4 high-pressure gas lines.
Yes, I think I had, I don't know why he responded that way, but the other people that responded afterwards said that it was 3
Okay.
high-pressure gas lines.
And who did the traffic generation? trip generation.
I did it with the ITE, the standards for ITE.
So the indication is that you're going to get 16 to 36 trips per day per household?
Yeah, that's high. I know it's high. It's a very busy area. And with all those mobile homes on there may not be that many, but I anticipate traffic to be increased on that little road.
Well, no doubt it'll increase, but
Worst case scenario. Worst case scenario type of thing, I guess.
okay.
Anything else?
Commissioner Acosta, you had one for Sean?
Well, I have so many questions, but I mean, Sean,
Thank you, Charlene.
Good morning. Please state your name and address for the record.
Sean Vick, 845 North Motel Boulevard.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Thank you.
Raise your
Here we go.
Not that small.
what are the bare bone requirements for mobile homes, especially in this specific case that's before us? Like water discharge, ponding, natural gas, and fire.
Well, based on the lots, fire would review it to make sure that they can get in and turn around. Like Charlene said, I believe the lots are 50 by 70 minimum. If there's natural gas provided for the mobile homes, you're looking at setbacks and just where the mobile home is going to be placed. I mean, it's typically straightforward as far as that goes. I understand everybody's concerned with the high pressure gas lines in that area, but they run through there. We had that one, I believe, on 3 Saints a couple years ago where they had that issue with a leak on the gas line. They had to close some stuff off, but that's why they have the minimum 120 feet. And so, you know, it meets their standards for natural gas and the easements. And it's just one of those things that we just have to live with as we develop and make sure that we stay within those standards. But as far as the mobile homes can be placed just like anywhere else. We're gonna look at skirting, we're gonna look at setbacks, make sure they're placed properly. That's what we're gonna do as our due diligence and permitting.
Are there-
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
And the ponding will be determined by the Flood Commission on the civil drawings that are submitted so that we can verify where they're gonna go, placement and everything else.
And on the pre-app, all of this will be taken care of, right?
That is correct, yes, sir. Each department will go through, review the drawings and address their concerns to be met so that we can make sure we met the intent of the code.
So if there's any glitches, they have to correct it, or you would deny it, am I correct?
That is correct. We would deny it. If it doesn't meet the intent of the code and compliance from each department, we'll send it back for corrections, and we won't issue the permit until all those are verified.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
That was going to be my comment or concern, that if it didn't meet all the setbacks between, you know, homes and if we say 6, but then they can't fit 6, then they need 4, you would take care of that.
Correct. Yes, ma'am. That would be addressed on the preliminary site visit. We don't ask for a lot of information when we have a pre-application meeting. We don't want them to spend a lot of money. But we do need a civil sheet so that we can sit there and see exactly where it's at. We can see exactly where the right-of-way is for the gas line and where they're proposed. And if they don't meet it, then they would have to make modifications on them for what we need. We're not going to tell them they have to do something. We're going to say to meet this and to move forward, this is what's going to need to be done, and allow them to make those modifications themselves.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Commissioner.
And Mr. Chair?
Go ahead, Mel.
Thank you, Sean.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Commissioners.
As a reminder, we just had one case not too far back in Talavera. And that case had to come before us again for the turnaround for fire trucks and things of this nature. There was no comment from the fire marshal. And that concerns me.
Maybe if we hear from the applicant, we can answer some of those concerns.
Well, I mean, is there turnaround, is that area big enough to do a turnaround there or not?
Chair Zargis, Commissioner Costa. That will all be determined once they give us their parameters for the civil sheets for the site. And so those, even though I understand that fire has not reviewed this, Deputy Chief Haver has a lot of different hats that he's wearing right now, and some of these have just unfortunately not been looked at. But it will, when we do the review, fire will be there for the pre-application meeting and the civil design. And a lot of the civil engineers that develop these, the subdivision or the civil sheets are aware of what's required in the 2021 IFC as far as what the turnarounds are for fire apparatuses as well. So that will be addressed.
And most normally on a mobile home, what is the fire rating on most mobile homes? I mean, 5 hours or?
No, sir. A mobile home is still built to 1978 HUD standards. And so, you know, you're looking at 2x2s for a mobile home. That's why those standards are different than the International Residential Building Code or Building Code.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Can we hear from the applicant, please?
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand, state your name and address for the record.
I'm Richard Tovar at 7901 Kylie Road.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, good morning. Thank you for your time, for allowing me to speak, and for your time to be here and to hear this case. I'll just address some of the issues. I guess one of the big ones is the gas pipeline. I've owned the property for 11 months, and I've talked to several reps of Kinder Morgan, to include line patrolmen and damage prevention specialists. They've gone out there on 3 occasions. They've marked off the location of the gas lines for me, which is, as Ms. Santisteban indicated, in that northeast corner of the lot. Okay. There's 3 lines that are running on the property. One of the lines is right at the tip of the property, and the furthest line south, I guess, on my property is probably about, I don't know, 20, 30 feet onto the property and runs, you know, east to west in a northwest direction. The last individual that was out there from Kinder Morgan, I don't remember his last name, but it's Rudy. I actually have their phone numbers on my phone. Through conversations with them, they've also marked off, and they marked off also an area about 25, 30 feet away from the gas lines. They told me, look, anything from these markers that way towards your lot, go ahead. But they still want me to call them. Like, just coordinate with us, stay in constant communication with us. And especially if you're gonna be on this area, doing anything from these flags this way to to their easement, to call them, and they'll be there on site whenever anything's being done on the property. Just to make sure, you know, for safety, community safety and all. That's one of the concerns with that. I'm not set on being 6 mobile homes. It can be 5 if you want to amend the line item and just make it 5. So right now there's 2 mobile homes on the lot. I'm asking for an additional 4 homes. You can amend it, make it an additional 3 to just for a total of 5 homes. That way we don't even go near that gas line, you know. And yes, as far as what I was gonna do in my plans, I was gonna make them on that left side. It's a 2-acre lot, and roughly I'd say it's about, I don't have the numbers, you know, with me. I left the whole survey at home, my sketch. It's 300 feet deep by about 200 and some feet wide. So in my plans, my driveway was gonna be about 40 feet wide. I'm building it with road base. I have dump trucks, I have bobcats, I have excavators and all that. So I was building my road with road base. I was dropping 3/4 rock. I'm dropping screening. This road is gonna be, you know, a heavy duty driveway for emergency vehicles to have access and be able to go on there. As far as now, one of the concerns, you know, that in the opposition letters was, and I respect and they're valid concerns. They are. I tell people that this is the way that the system is set up, so people can address their concerns. And so I appreciate their feedback, I appreciate their concerns. And so here I'm just trying to, how can I address them? How can I make it better? How can I resolve these concerns? I'm not trying to maximize profits. I'm not here for, to just get rich off of this little development. And, through my research and everything, I know that here in New Mexico, Doña County, I can subdivide down to 6,000 square foot lots in that area. I can place 2 mobile homes per every 6,000 square foot lot. I'm not wanting to do that. In my plan, I envision making 1 home per quarter acre, which is 10,800 square feet. I'm not trying to maximize profits. I'm wanting to make a nice place for my residents. I was gonna put trees, I was gonna, fence them in, but all of that, it takes money, and I'm not Jeff Bezos, one of these guys that have unlimited funds. I don't. So I was gonna put in, that's why I had asked to allow me to put in 1 home per year, because I have to, find a deal, buy it, bring it in, and get all the services, everything set up, which takes a lot of money. So I don't know if there's any other traffic, just real quick. I've been out there since I've bought it. I've been out there on numerous occasions to do my own traffic analysis. And on average, there's 1 vehicle for every 10, 15 minutes. I even have it on recordings. I was out there with my phone recording. I'll go out there and record on several occasions. On Saturday, there was 7 vehicles. I was there for an hour, Saturday morning. Then Monday morning, I was out there. I thought, okay, I'll be here on Monday morning during what I thought would be a lot of traffic for people going to school, work. And in that area, I counted 11 vehicles in an hour and 5 minutes, okay? And then Tuesday evening, I was there again. I said, okay, let me come maybe when they're coming home from work. And I was there from 5 to 6, 10 p.m. And that day there was, I want to say 4 vehicles total in an hour and 10 minutes. Will I have an impact with 3 or 4 mobile homes? Yes, there will be an impact. I estimate, to the best of my abilities of guesstimations and all, I'd say I'm gonna add 2 vehicles, let's call it 2.5 vehicles per mobile home. If we do 4 mobile homes, that's another 8 to 10 vehicles that I've added to the lot and to the street. And per Ms. Antestevan's numbers, I saw that she said something about like 6 trips per day. At 10 vehicles, 6 trips a day, that's 60 trips that the additional 4 mobile homes will add. If they're in and out, going to the store, running back, dropping off the kids, whatever they're doing, but that's all I have to say. I don't know if you all have any questions or anything that you'd like to ask me that I could try to address.
Have questions of the applicant.
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher.
Mr. Tovar.
Yes, ma'am.
This property remains in your hands, correct?
Correct, ma'am.
The right-of-way, is it marked so nobody else would have reason to be digging there or doing anything else there?
Kinder Morgan reps did place a sign there in the back, and like I said, they did put flags up. Flags, there's some yellow flags indicating exactly where the gas lines are underneath it, and then they place some pink flags, again, like 20, I'd say like 30 feet. I don't know exactly, I'd have to go and try to measure. About 30 feet from the yellow gas line markings to these pink flags, and like, from here this way, go ahead and build. So it's marked off, but I mean, anyone can walk up, and which actually brings up a good point. I was there on the property, I'll just walk around and, out there, and Kinder Morgan drives their vehicles on these lines because they got to inspect them. Yeah. They have a detector to make sure that there's no leaks, that they're, not sensing anything. So they've come in through the front of through the driveway off of Montana Vista. They'll go into the lot, they'll drive off to the back, and they'll drive on the lines and go down into the neighbors. And they'll make U-turns on the lines, and they go, and they just kind of cut off and just continue the lines as far as they can. And I'm sure there's gates that other neighbors have put up, which they've got to have access to, those locks or, but.
Have you any idea, Mr. Tober, how deep these lines are?
You know what, ma'am? I don't know that, Ms. Fisher. I had asked them that before, but they'd have to do more research and figure out how deep they are. I don't know, to be honest. What's that, ma'am?
They have to know.
Yeah, I'm sure they know. Yes, ma'am. You're right. I'm sure they know. I don't know.
They do.
Yeah.
Other questions of the applicant?
I have a question about just vehicles. Were you thinking of maybe limiting vehicles per mobile home?
So normally, yeah, so I've been in doing, God's blessed me, and I've been in the rental business for 20 years. So I do limit my renters to 2 vehicles per home, okay? The one mobile home that I installed last summer, so when I bought the lot, there was already a home on the property, and then last summer I installed a second home. I came through all the legal processes, probably giving I was a pain to Miss Santisteban, but we installed a second home on the right side of the lot, and that one only has, they only have 1 vehicle for that home. So yeah, I will put a limit, a maximum of 2 vehicles, so.
And then for the natural area, I know that some people, you put their limits, but they still do what they want.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. So one of the things that I would do, and I tell my renters is, just to be on the safe side, don't go back there and be smoking. You know what I mean? But as far as you could walk over there. But like I said, Kinder Morgan does drive out there frequently, and they do have detectors and as they're driving on the lines, and they're looking for leaks is what they're doing. And they told me, so for that area, I had wanted to designate it as just a natural area. Keep it natural, just keep it clean, because the previous owner before me, I think they used it kind of as a landfill in the back, and they, landscapers, I don't know who they were dropping off a lot of debris material, construction material. So I've been kind of trying to slowly clean that up. And, but this area over here with the natural gas line is, I intend to just kind of keep it natural, just, no crazy bushes, unless they're nice ones, I know there's a lot of we got some nice desert plants, so.
Okay, and I'm just getting at to, limiting the vehicles, but then also maybe creating the natural area in a way that more people can't just go park there because it's
No, you're
open,
correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I could probably put up like a little fence area, up further away from the lines where they allow me to, like, hey, anything from this point, it's okay to do what you got to do. I could put up like a little pedestrian fence to kind of limit it to no vehicles being on there. Well, actually, yeah, because now I think about Kinder Morgan, they've got to have, so it's kind of,
Yeah, it's tough.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
No, it's- Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else would like to speak on this case? Come up.
Hello.
Good morning,
Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
Manuel Garcia Jr.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is truth under penalty of law?
Yes, I do.
May you state your address, please?
700 Montana Vista Drive, Anthony, New Mexico, 88021.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Okay, my name is Manuel Garcia Jr. I'm the president there of the Montana Vista Coalition there in our community. I am writing this on behalf of
Sir, move the mic a little closer to you.
I am writing this on behalf of my community and myself to formally express our community opposition to the proposed zoning change from a T3 to a DM mobile home park for case number SU 25-054- and the address is 715 Montana Vista Drive in Anthony, New Mexico. I have been a part of this community for over 30 years, and I am deeply concerned about the negative impacts this change would have in our community. There will be more traffic, more people, more noise. This property is zoned as a T3, for a reason. I believe that there's no need to change it to a DM, which would become a mobile home park. The T3 zoning in Doña County is designed for low-density, single-family residential dwellings. The DM is primarily designed for mobile homes and recreational vehicle parks. Okay, there is, first of all, when we received the notice for the hearing, right away, the dates were wrong for the people to read them. Another thing, and I did, it is one thing that I would like to, a lot of the concerned neighbors are called, and they have a very hard time getting a hold of Mrs. Sebastian. They would leave messages were never returned. I personally called her like 25 times. The day that she returned my call, I called her like 10 times, right? One call right after the other, and she returned my call. And I explained to her, okay, one of the things on the plan, the conceptual site plan, it does not picture the gas lines. It does not mention anything about the high-pressure gas lines going through the property. And that is a big concern for all the neighbors in the community. As I have a picture, I don't know if you would like to see it. On the
Site plan, okay.
I've been in communication with Kristen. She is the one that's in charge of that area for the Paso Natural Gas in Kinder Morgan. And she told me that the gas lines that are there, it's an easement that they have. They've had it for many years. Nothing could be built on top of it. Nobody could be riding on top. Nothing could be, okay. Sorry about that.
We want to hear you.
Yeah, okay, sorry about that. Okay, I've been in communication with Christian. She is the one that's in charge there in that area for the Paso Natural Gas. And she, what I understand is that where those pipelines run, which they run through Mr. Tovar's property, where each line, you have to have a 25 foot. You can't build anything or have anything on top, or not just the line, 25 foot on one side and 25 foot on the other side. And then this site plan, I'm not sure if it goes through it. The mobile home, that's the last one up on the left side. I'm not sure if it's on it or very close to it. So there's a big concern there. And like they mentioned, this pipeline has, I think it's had a couple of leaks in the last years. One of them was on 3 Saints, and I forgot where they told me the other one. But that is, that is a big concern. So first of all, and I did, I don't know if you saw where the lines are at and the 25 feet, but they do run. Like Ms. Sebastian mentioned, there's 3 of those, and they're high-pressure gas lines. Okay. Okay, the previous owner of this property was never allowed to put more than 3 mobile homes. Let me see that. And I could tell you that because she was my mom. And that was one of the problems that they told her, because of the gas line. You have to, just stay away from the gas line. She wanted to put in a 4th mobile home, and they gave her a really hard time. At the end, she said, you know what, I'm just done. I'll just keep the 3. And then she finally decided to sell the property. That's where Mr. Tovar bought it last year. Another neighbor also wanted to put a mobile home, and they denied him. There is a friend of mine that has a 5-acre lot. They only allowed her to put 6 mobile homes, and that was it, no more. That's a 5-acre lot. For the same reason, because there's some gas lines that go through there. And so there's there's a lot of other different things that my neighbors have been trying to, like I said, trying to get a hold of Ms. Santiesteban. They haven't been able to, and they were not here. They weren't able to be here at the hearing today, but they told me if I could please, let you commissioners know about that. So we just, we respectfully urge the Planning and Zoning Commission to maintain the current T3 zoning designated to protect our integrity, safety of our community.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak on this case? Are all 4 of you going to be speaking here? Okay. Just so we know for time reasons.
Hello,
Good morning. Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
my name is Manuel Garcia III. I live at 700 Space A Montana Vista Drive, Anthony, New Mexico, 88021.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
So, right from the get-go, the notice for public input letter was sent out on December the 15th of 2025. There was an error. It states that the special use permit may be granted administratively if no written objections are received by September the 9th, 2025. And I know that probably wasn't on purpose, but that in itself, you get off to a bad start there. People might see this and think, my time's over. I can't put my input anymore because I missed the deadline. So that in itself, from the get-go, is a bad start. I share my father's concerns also about Miss Charlene Santiesteban, incredibly difficult to get a hold of. I'd call her 10 times, 20 times. I spoke to her 2 times. Very hard to get a hold of. When I first spoke to her, I asked her about the gas pipeline on the property, and she was unaware of the pipeline. That's what she told me. So she probably just learned about it after. My major reason for opposition is the increased traffic. It's a very short street. We live at the corner of the street. 6 trailers, 5 trailers, whatever it is, in a tight corner in an already crowded space will add much more congestion and traffic. How many people will be living in each trailer? Is Mr. Tovar going to set a limit? I don't know. How many vehicles can each trailer have? He just stated that there's a 2-vehicle limit, but I live directly across the street from the property that he owns. And one of the, I don't know if it's tenant, family members, there's about 3 trucks and a trailer there. So he's saying 2 vehicles, but there's 3 trucks and a trailer there. My concern is when my grandmother had that property, she had 3 trailers that she was renting. A lot of the people in our community are really hardworking people. They have trailers, they do manual labor, they have trailers, they have things, vehicles that they put on their property. And when she was renting, that's what was happening is a lot of people had trailers and they were just parking their trucks there and it increased the traffic. So that was 3. Can you imagine 6? Another concern here is, again, there was no mention of a high-pressure underground interstate natural gas pipeline in the notice for public input. I think that's a very important detail for you not to mention. Again, I live right across the street from Mr. Tovar. The tenants he has there, the family members that are there currently, there is a nuisance dog that is on the street that lives on that property every single day is constantly harassing people. I know of 2 people that he's bit. He's been on my property. I have no dogs. I found him on my property defecating in my garden multiple times. And oftentimes my kids are outside and he'd be kind of growling at them. So I just have to kind of get out of here, you know? So that's my concern. If he can't even try and control what the tenants are doing with their animals, that's creating a big danger for the community there. That dog chases dogs every morning, tries to bite their tires, and there's been no remedial action there. Nothing about that has been done. And then again, you know, the natural gas pipeline on the property, I know he wants to put 6 trailers on 1.5 acres. The other half acre, I guess, he had written what is it here? A narrative that he wants to put benches and things. How are you gonna put benches and stuff where there's a natural gas pipeline and endanger your tenants? You wouldn't wanna put anything there. So that's my concern, really. Yeah, thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Anyone else wish to speak on this?
Good morning. Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
Sir, come up to the mic to do this, please.
Can you speak into the microphone, please?
Come up to the mic, please, so we can hear you.
Okay.
State your name and address for the
Name and
record.
address.
2300 East Joy.
And your name?
Mario Gonzalez?
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Thank you.
I've been a resident there since 1991, okay? And from time to time, the gas company comes digging up the gas line. I have some pictures, but I forgot them, don't have them with me. But here's a request in 2026. If you wish to look at the letter, they're gonna come and that's for my permission, and I went ahead and mailed it to Conroe, Texas, stating that they have the right of way. It's their gas line. It only bites a corner of my property, but having a mobile home park is not a good idea for many reasons. People will go out there just ignoring that gas line property, light their grills, start a bonfire in the summer, and be out there, you know, with loud music, which we have a quiet community right now. We don't need no loud music. We don't know what kind of people are gonna live there. We just don't need a trailer park. And for many other reasons, about 10 years ago, on Montana Vista, on that street, in front of that supposedly trailer park, there was a bad accident. A guy was going about 65 miles an hour, forgetting that at the end of Montana Vista is Montaña Azul, and he hit those poles and knocked down that transformer. And my neighbor here, which was here just a little bit ago, he witnessed, I witnessed, all the neighbors witnessed when that transformer was knocked down because the guy was going too fast. He forgot there was a dead end. You could only turn right or left. And he hit those poles and ended up in the desert, totaling his car and trying to run away. But the residents held him there. So there it just goes flying through Montana Vista. I live on Joy. It's the same thing. And I've called, I talked to deputies. People tend to be burning their trash at night. In the summer, we have our evaporated cooler on because I live in a mobile home. And we start getting all this ugly plastic smell, people burning plastic. And I've talked to a bunch of deputies and told them, go out there or give me your card and I'll call you. And I haven't seen anybody go over there to see why these people, instead of going and throwing the rubbish to a dump and not pay anything, they rather burn it right there in their yards. And that's not right for all the other, neighbors to smell all that plastic burning. So I don't think it's a good idea. People are not going to respect that gas line, and that will be a future time bomb for all the neighborhood. If those pipes will blow up, they will kill my family, all my neighbors, everybody by that gas line. So I don't think it's a good idea at all.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you, sir. Any questions? Okay, thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah. Can I have my letter back? Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and see it.
Oh, you have it?
They're thinking of putting another gas line, according to that letter, but I don't know exactly where.
You can tell. You pull up the parcel map for us.
This one?
Can you show us where your property is?
I'm catty corner to this supposedly trailer park.
So are you south of the road?
I'm on Joy. That big part of the trailer park. Yeah, I'm right on this corner. Catty corner to the trailer park.
So you're this one? This one here?
It's cutting. You can see the lines up here.
Joy
You
up
can see
there.
it up there. It's cutting right through that area. I mean, you got more problems down in
I'm
here.
right here, the little smaller one over here. More.
You-
Right there. See my corner? Taps in with that.
It'll be number 2 on the notification map, Commissioner Zernick.
And they buy my corner, the gas lines.
It's number 2.
I can't do anything
Thank you.
there. No fires, no grills.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So inspections are, but it can be.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
Christopher Anthony Garcia, and I live in 700 Space C, Montana Vista, Anthony, New Mexico, 88021.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Commissioners, thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. I'm speaking as a member of the community. I've lived in 700 Montana Vista for over about 30 years. So I'm invested in the community and seeing it grow and raising my kids there and whatnot. It is a very low-density area. It doesn't branch out into other roads. So it is a big concern having somebody who wants to bring in 6 trailers in a 1.5 lot when they're not allowing other trailers, or when trailers that have 5 acres have 6 trailers, which is understandable. But when you want to cram 4 to 6 and 1.5 and have an easement of 5 or 0.5, I don't think would be, beneficial or right for the community. I just think it would bring a lot more concerns as far as, is there going to be kids? Are these kids are going to take shovels out to these easements or of the high pressure gas line? You don't know what's going to happen. Is he going to be monitoring these residents and tenants 24/7? I understand about bringing people in and having a fair community with prices, with everything going up, but it's more about safety. It's more about hearing the people who have actually lived there, invested, and been in the community. The few days of monitoring is not a full representation of someone who has actually lived there for over 30 years, and the traffic for those 3 days, that's good that he did that, but I've lived there 30 years. I know the community over 30 years, and we've seen the increase of traffic. People use that road through Joy Drive and Montana Azul So there's just constant traffic. I mean, we've had ATVs and whatnot problems that we've had to address as a community, and we were able to, as a community, come together. So I'm thinking this, more trailers, not knowing who it is, crammed into one piece spot, I don't think it would be beneficial, and it doesn't represent the integrity of our community. Thank you.
Any questions for this gentleman? Okay, thank you. Anyone else wishes to speak on this case? Mr. Tover, would you like to rebut any of these comments?
Morning again.
You don't have to be sworn in again.
So Richard Tovar again, thank you for allowing me to speak again, sir. Just real quick, I guess on some of the comments that my neighbors brought up, and again, thank you for the comments. Because yeah, I don't, as far as vehicles, I'm already texting my renters. They're only supposed to have 2 vehicles. And I know in the past couple days I've gone, the wife has a car and the husband, Eric, has his own vehicle, and he has his own little utility trailer, okay? As far as a dog, yes, that dog is a nuisance. I've called animal control, the county. Can you guys come pick up this dog? And I've talked to the renters, Eric and Jennifer, and Eric has told me that that's the neighborhood dog. They bought that home about the time that I purchased the property. So they're renting the space from me. And he goes, that dog came with the property. And if you go on, even in my videos that I have, that dog runs all over the place, all over the place. And Eric's like, that dog eats better than most people. He'll come and he'll go to other people's houses and he'll come with slabs of like ham or whatever. So everybody feeds that dog. And if he has bitten somebody, I think that dog is a danger to the community. And we should have already had animal services pick up that dog. So that's that on that. And as far as burning, I know my renters don't burn anything. I've told them, I've even given them the number that I found on the plan and zoning or the planning development services that we're allowed to burn. There's a number that we can call the dispatch. And I've called them and I've burned once. I called them and you tell them what time you're gonna burn. And as long as it's weeds or, branches, yard waste, no rubber, no trash, none of that stuff. And so Eric, my renter, he's scared of burning. He's like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not gonna. So I'm the only one that has burned, and I've burned on one occasion, and it was all just tree branches and some weeds. That's all I have, sir. Thank you. Any questions or?
I have a question for
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
For the trash, do they have trash receptacles, your tenants?
They don't. Oh, well, so they have their own little bins, but they take it to the landfill. Right there in Anthony on O'Hara Drive or whatever it is, going towards the Gap, in back of the Doña Community College there's a landfill, the South Central Solid Waste, and that's their site. And actually, which brings up another point, there on my street, I think a lot of people use it as a landfill. In the 11 months that I've owned it, I found 4 different mattresses on that street, and I've picked up 2 of them and taken them to the landfill. So, I am who picked up the other 2. If I knew who they were, I'd thank them. But I'm not looking to come and make a mess, or I'm trying to add value to this, my lot and to the community, and I'll do everything that I can to not make it a hazard or to the neighbors.
Are there plans, or do you have plans to maybe add a dumpster for the 6?
Well, it's a possibility. Yeah, I could do something like that. That'd be a great idea, actually. If so I have a lot of times I have my own containers I even have my own dumpster containers, and that's you bring up a very good idea. I might just have to leave it there and just go dump it to landfill, but just for my residents. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for that.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I guess we'll look for a motion on SU 25-054.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I'm going to move approval of SU 25054. With the following conditions. A triple fee will be assessed for the third mobile home. Applicant will coordinate a pre-app meeting with building services. Applicant will coordinate with El Paso Natural Gas to not encroach on the 120-foot right-of-way easement, provide an as-built survey. I'd also like to add a maximum of 5 mobile homes, eliminating the northwest corner site, and provide a 4-foot cyclone fence running parallel to the pipelines. You'd have to consult with El Paso Natural Gas to determine placement of that.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Zerniak, second by Commissioner Lear, for conditional approval of case SU 25-054 with the note the additional conditions. Call the roll, please.
Would you read the conditions again?
The ones that I added? Yeah.
Well, let's go through all of them so that everybody
Okay.
knows.
Go through all of them.
A triple fee will be assessed for the third mobile home. Applicant will coordinate a pre-app meeting with building services. Number 3, applicant will coordinate with El Paso Natural Gas to not encroach onto the 120-foot right-of-way easement. And number 4, provide an as-built survey. The 2 that I added, number 5, a maximum of 5 mobile homes, eliminating the northwest corner mobile home site. And number 6, provide a 4-foot cyclone fence running parallel to the pipelines, consulting with El Paso Natural Gas to determine placement.
Any other comments or questions on the motion before we
And
call it?
the fence is as a buffer?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
to prevent people from going
Right.
Yeah.
into that parcel.
Okay.
And the limit is 5 mobile homes.
It's 5 mobile homes.
All right.
Okay. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Lear,
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia,
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher,
Yes.
Commissioner Acosta,
Yes. And we're in compliance with the comp plan, right? Vision 2040? Yes?
Vice Chair Zerniak,
Albert?
Yes.
All right.
Chair Zargis.
Yes. Commissioner Acosta? Commissioner Acosta, you had a comment or question?
Well,
Oh, okay.
we are in compliance with the comp plan, right? Vision 2040, right? Is that correct, Albert?
Chair, Commissioner Acosta, yes, I mean, that was part of the staff findings.
Okay.
Okay, so SU 25-054, conditional approval. Now we move on to SU 25-051.
Yes, now we're
We're just a little out of order.
Okay, so we're on SU 25051, and the applicant is Kristen J. Ritchie and Andrea F. Joseph. The location is 4280 Taurus Drive. It's a D1L, low-density residential limited, and it's a special use permit for a 1,162 square foot accessory dwelling. This is the location map. That's the property. The subject property is 1.82 acres and it's zone D1L. It's single-family residential. There's a 5420 square foot single-family home built in 2008 and a 3496 square foot accessory building that was formerly used as a dog training facility. And the applicant is proposing the accessory dwelling within that accessory building. So, and with incorporating it with an arts and crafts studio and a workshop. This is the close-up of the property. This is the zoning map. On October 27th, 2025, the applicants submitted an SUP request for a 1,162 square foot accessory dwelling. The Remaining square footage for the accessory building is to be used as an arts and crafts studio. This is the overall site plan. And I blew this up, but it's kind of fuzzy. You can't really see it. They originally had come in to make this a duplex, but they can only have one accessory dwelling. So this is the area where the dwelling is going to be. 14 letters of notification were mailed to area properties on January 20th, 2026. Notices were posted in Las Cruces Sun News January 18th, and the signs were posted in a timely manner. These are the signs that were posted, notification signs. And this is the area of notification. And this is the subject property. This is the front. I couldn't get to the back, so I drew these arrows. This is the driveway going back there, and that's where the accessory building is at, where the dwelling's going to be in. And this is the entrance that goes in there. This is the adjacent properties. So nice area. And this is across the street. And this is, excuse me, it's not supposed to be Highway 28. This is supposed to be Taurus Drive. The potential traffic impacts will be minimal, with maybe 4 to 6 vehicles trips per day, and access to the properties through Taurus Drive. And this meets Goal G 2.2, ensure regulations as part of the plan requirements. And the property has a private domestic well for water. The property has 2 septic tanks, one for the house and one for the accessory building. And Taurus Drive is a privately maintained 50-foot right-of-way. No public facilities and services are available to this property. There are no environmentally sensitive areas in the vicinity, and the impact on the neighborhood will be minimal. The subject has a building permit on hold until the SUP is approved. And you have the authority to listen to this case. The subject property is 0.63 acres. The area is residential, and you have the authority to hear this. Based on the findings of fact, staff analysis, and agency comments, I recommend approval of case SU 25051. I stand for
Questions or comments for staff?
Mr. Chair, I have a question. So the proposed change is going to be in the interior of that building. The
Yes.
exterior of that building is not going to be changed.
Right, it's going to remain the same. It's just
So
all interior work.
So the footprint remains the same?
The
just
footprint, everything remains the
Altering
same.
the interior of the building?
It's just the interior of the building that they are proposing that change. And the reason it was caught was because of the accessory dwelling within there.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's the reason it
Okay,
came up.
thank you.
Other questions of staff? Okay, we'll hear from the applicant.
Can I have the PowerPoint brought up, please?
Good morning. Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
Andrea Joseph, 4280 Taurus Drive.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Thank you.
Morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. I think it's got to be 6, 7 years ago, I stood up here and requested a special use permit. I requested a special use permit to be able to build a service dog training facility. We were able to build a facility, and as you can see, that is the building that is in the back of my property. And we trained service dogs there, we bred service dogs, and we were able to, and we donated those dogs at no cost to veterans in our community and elsewhere. Unfortunately, this all got underway right before the pandemic, and we had funding issues, and we just were not able to get the support that we'd hoped for. So unfortunately, Four Paws and a Wake Up closed down, and I have this gorgeous building in the back of my property, and was trying to figure out what to do with it. My undergraduate degree was in fine art from the California Institute of the Arts, and I like to tinker and do woodworking and painting and pottery. So it just made sense to maybe turn it into a studio and then have a little casita on the side of it for family and friends when they come and visit. So that is what we are requesting. As was stated earlier, the front of the building will remain the same. Right here, there are some kennels, and those will go away. But otherwise, from the front, it'll stay the same. I have a little camper and a solar unit on the side there. And I believe that it's 1,600 square feet. Maybe I've got my measurements wrong, but it's this side of the property would be converted into the casita, and this side here would be studio, woodworking, ceramics, arts and crafts. So we have a special use permit to be commercial, and the building was actually built as a commercial, under commercial codes and everything else. So we're actually asking for the special use permit for commercial to go back to residential, which during the first hearing you said people don't go backwards from commercial to residential. Well, apparently they do occasionally. And we're asking to go from a dog training facility to a casita studio. We had one objection, and I don't believe that Scott Strowman is here. He didn't state any reason for his objection, which, on a side note, might be helpful to have people be required to put an objection as to what their grounds are. But this is Strowman's property. He has a lot here where he has horses that live in this teeny tiny pen right next to a well, which I don't believe is according to code. He also has this property in the back where he has his old house, which is falling apart, and he has moved to this property here, and this is the home that he lives in. Between this property and this property, there is a community ditch. The only access to his home is to drive around Scorpio Loop all the way around, so to get to his property here. He never comes on Torres Drive. This is the proposed casita and studio, and this is my home. Oops, I don't know how to go back. Oh, how do I go back? You have pictures of it?
That's a picture of his property. Dilapidated roof, tractors, all kinds of stuff versus the studio. I can't figure out how to go backwards.
Do you have pictures of the kennel building?
That was, okay. Now let's, why is it skipping over that?
The green one? Oh,
Yeah, so there we go. So this is where he lives, in this building here. This is the community ditch that divides his property with, the proposed building is further this way. This is the back of his dilapidated house. These are the horses that are just tied up in this little pen with fencing that disintegrates. As I have no idea why he objected, but now if I can go back one more. I'm having problems with this. Well, this is the kennel building, right there.
so you will continue to use the full building, but just a portion of it will be developed into an apartment?
Yeah.
Casita, okay.
And that is under the limit for the size of casitas. It's within that limit, that current limit. Are there any other questions?
The studio, is that just going to be a personal use then now?
Yeah.
So there's no plan to rent it out?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions of the applicant? Okay, anyone else wishes to speak on this case?
Thank you very much.
Don't want a supporter? Okay. I look for a motion.
I move for approval of special use 25-051.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Fisher, second by Commissioner Lear to approve SU 25-051. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Lear,
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia,
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher,
Yes.
Commissioner Costa,
Yes.
Vice Chair Zerniak,
Yes.
Chair Zargis.
Yes. SU 25-051 is approved. Thank you. Okay. Moving on. You want to take a break?
No, let's finish
No,
it up.
we're done. January building permits? Staff's gone. We all want to leave now. It's 11
I'll go ahead
o'clock.
and do this. We have, and I really can't see, that's too small. The building permits we have, these are the January building permits? Okay, there it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have all these building permits. These are all for, this one here is, on Main is probably a commercial permit, and the other ones are homes.
The question I have is that, at that Main Street, is that where we denied the cannabis?
Oh, I think that's another one, Commissioner. Let's see. It's tenant improvements, lighting, sheetrock, CMU walls for vault, paint, flooring, cameras, and furnishings. It's a tenant improvement, 3895 South Main Street. I'm trying to find out who the applicant was. Hold on.
It's Tortugas Drive and Main Street, right? Is that correct?
I think that could be it. I think that rings a bell for
Yeah,
the
we
for the
denied
cannabis.
that. Yeah.
What is that commercial in Anthony?
Let me get that address for Anthony.
I can't remember. 7.25 acres?
Anthony, I think that's O'Hara Road, 1100 East O'Hara, and that's just for gravel pad, 88-foot chain link fence with barbed wire. It's one of those properties that fronts I-10. So if you're driving past the two cannabis places that are there, you keep on driving south. There's an area for like a construction yard. And I think that's what's going in there. Yeah, and they're all sold C3 out there. I think so. So they're appropriately zoned for it. So basically, they're just prepping the land for a contractor start or the storage of trailers.
Okay.
But to summarize the building permits, we had 49 residential permits. 10 of those were new single-family residential homes. We had 4 residential solar permits, 58 electrical permits, 35 plumbing permits, 10 mobile home permits, 4 commercial permits. There were 2 cell tower additions, and total fees from permits were $33,807. So that's for our administrative approvals.
What's the number again? 33?
33,807.
32, okay. Thank you.
Questions to staff, comments? Okay, moving ahead, staff input.
Chair, I'm gonna, after the meeting, I'm gonna forward you guys an email. We got an email from the New Mexico Municipal League. They're gonna be having a free training session. And on their agenda, you see items that have to do with the planning and zoning commissions. They're gonna go over the history of zoning and land use. They're gonna talk about the responsibilities of commissions, ethical decision-making, and public hearing processes. So I'll be forwarding that link over to you guys if you guys are interested in it. It's gonna be on Wednesday, February 26th, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So I'll forward the link, and it's free to register.
Okay.
And then on another matter,
Albert, just as a quick comment, having done that training before, leading it, I know that the municipal league does a very good job of that, so it's worthwhile.
yeah, thank you. We have 4 commissioners that are up for re-election: Commissioner Acosta, Commissioner Fisher, Commissioner Uranga, Commissioner Lear. We're not set on the dates yet, but I know the BOCC hearing will be in April. It's either going to be April 28th or April 14th. But we'll send you guys an email with once we figure out when the date's going to be.
You were going to send us something where we had to send you a letter back?
Yeah, we'll send you the email notifying you that, if you're interested in running again, to submit your info. And then we'll let you know when the BOCC hearing will be.
4 commissioners are up for reappointment, except you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
That's what I
Albert.
have.
Commission input.
Mr. Chair, so just a couple quick comments. If you're going to change the agenda, you need to let us know.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay, but we need to know too. And it's all right, it's all right. And the other thing, the letter that one of the opposition mentioned on the case about the date, that could actually be serious, because that affects people that want to respond. So, and I know why it happened, but we have to be careful about that.
Well,
And just to touch base on that, I think that first letter that he mentioned was for the administrative approvals,
Yeah,
which in any ways triggered the public input, which triggered the public hearing. So a second round of letters were sent out with the correct dates.
okay.
So,
a little
But is
levity
that
here.
clear to them? I caught that too, but I thought, but is it clear to them that the person petitioning has other options and they can still speak out? Is that?
you know
clear
what,
in the
I was late for staff input because I was kind of explaining to the neighbors that, the applicant had other options. He came in for a special use permit for 6 mobile homes that got reduced to 5 with, other, with additional conditions. But having sewer out there, in that area, that changes things for everybody. He had 2 acres, but if one of the surrounding neighbors that had 5 acres, if he wants to come in here and decides to do a subdivision out there with sewer there, yeah, I mean, he can go down to, 6,000 square foot lots.
Yeah.
This guy right here, if we take his 2 acres, we take out the easement, we take out maybe 15% for infrastructure for roads, and ponding areas, he probably could have done easily 8 or 9 lots just on those 2 acres. If he had the money to hire an engineer and build it all out.
Yeah.
So having sewer there, changes things. And that's without even having to go through a zone change. That's just a subdivision submittal, which will be pretty hard to deny if they're meeting all the requirements.
I think they were confused too because they kept saying that it was a zoning change and it
Yeah.
wasn't.
No, it was
Yeah.
just an SUP.
Mhm.
Okay. Other comments from the commission? Okay, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Commissioner Lear, Commissioner Fisher seconds. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Abstentions? We're out of here. Thank you.